Okay, now if you're watching this video, I'm sure by now you know how to create a PR in the system, how to convert that PR to a PO, and I'm sure you have also seen how to confirm a particular PO before you send it to the vendor, right? So in this video, in this part, we would be discussing about GRN creation. So once a PR has been raised, PO has that PR has been converted to a PO, and finally you send that PO to the vendor after confirmation. And once the delivery is made at your site, you would be creating a GRN. So for that, you would be accessing this application right here, GRN. Click on that. Select your site, begin with select your site always. Select the PC code, enter the PO number, click on submit. So once you do that, your PO would get populated here on this part of the screen. As you can see, this was my PO number, PO/000746. So again, there are some header details of this PO, so I can go through that. So if I wanted to create a GRN for this, I would just simply click on this GRN icon, this small green truck icon. I would click on that. The system would ask me if I'm sure about this. I'll click on OK and proceed. So this right here is the PO detail page. So if I need to, I can go through all the details once again, check the purchase order details, vendor information, ship to billing address. All these details are correct. Make sure all these details are up to mark. And once I am sure of this, sure about these details, I'll go to items and start receiving start making a receipt of these items, right? So my first item was HK sponge, item code this, and make and model, quantity. This was the quantity I had ordered earlier, right? So this was the unit, rate, the tax implied, the HSN, the UOM, lot number. So I'll put this to 1. I'll either I can make a partial quantity if in case the vendor has made a partial delivery. I can make a receiving in partial quantities, or I can just enter the full quantity if I had received the whole quantity of what I had ordered, right? I'll come to the second line item, that is stock clear pump, and I'll again set the lot number as 1, receive the quantity 4, and set this to 4, and come to the invoice details page. So again, I cannot mention a number that is more than my ordered quantity. So if I were to mention 6 here instead of 4, the system would give me a prompt that the received quantity cannot be more than the ordered quantity. So so there are some checks built in the system. So there's that. So I will begin with mentioning my invoice number, setting my invoice date, I'll mention the delivery challan number, set a date to that as well, and mention a remark, let's say received full quantity, and I'll click on next. So once I do that, the system would take me to this vendor appraisal page. Here I would get to rate the vendor on the basis of various parameters, as you can see on this side of the screen. How do you rate the vendor performance? Does the material meet the quality standards, etc., etc. So I would get to rate the vendor on these parameters, based on these parameters. So out of 4, 4 being the best, so I'll be generous and select 4 throughout and click on submit. So once I click on submit, a GRN, as you can see, this is the GRN that had got created. This is my GRN number D331, and again the supplier details shipped to PO invoice. So the invoice numbers that I had mentioned, they got printed here. The invoice date got printed on this part, and this whole thing is my GRN. So just like a PO, I can take a print of this, save it as a PDF in my system, and done. So this is my GRN. So in case if you guys forget of in case you skip taking a download of that GRN, in case if you skip noting down that GRN number, so what you can do is you can come back to the dashboard. You can come to this PRPO GRN status application, click on that. So here you can find the dump of all the GRNs, all the POs, all the PRs that you have raised for your site. So I'll begin with selecting my plant, that is again my site, Huawei, and click on submit. So when I do that, I would get all the PRs, PR numbers, all the PO numbers, and all the GRNs that I have raised against that particular PO. I would get a dump of all those GRNs and POs in this sheet, in this screen actually. So if I would scroll down, so this was my latest PO. This was the PR number, and these were the two line items that I had created this PO for. So again, this PO number is a clickable link, right? And this is the GRN number D331. This is also again a clickable link. So if I would click on that, I would get a printable format on my screen. This is the PO. So if I didn't take, if I skipped to save it as a PDF in the earlier stage, I can still come down to this module and find my PO, find my GRN, and take a download of that from here.